I really think that is, borderline fascism. It's not, it's taking rights away from people just because they speak English. I know this is Quebec, but we're in Canada. To all those stores out there who just want to remove English from their signs, I just don't want to shop there. I know many people who don't want to shop there. You're going to be losing business. It's not fair. Money speaks, and if my money won't speak to you because it's English, then I will go elsewhere. Even the sale signs, nothing was in English at all. There wasn't a mention of English. Even the toys were all French. Even though there was English on the package, like the toys, like if they sang songs, counted numbers, it was all in French. I felt, like a second-class citizen. I felt like, I did not matter. I lived here all my life. I pay my taxes. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've not done anything wrong. I haven't even got a speeding ticket, but yet I'm not good enough to be treated as an equal because my mother language is English. And he just said, well, this is Quebec. So I told him, well, the law states that you are allowed some English as long as it's not as big as the French. And he goes, well, no, this is Quebec, you're not allowed. I have not received any answer. I did speak to a customer service representative, and she said she would pass it on. It was based out of Atlanta, so I'm not really sure how it's going to be passed on here. But no, I have not received any response from Canadian head office or the American one. My name is Sean Lydon. I was born and raised right here in Montreal, and I'm a Quebecer. The other day, my sister and I went to the new Toys R Us that opened up in Vaudreuil. They're having a grand opening. And I was walking around, just looking at objects, not really noticing the signs. I'm working French, so I know French, comes naturally to me. But my sister, she's not very good in French. And she kept on having to ask me, what does this mean, what does that mean? And I started noticing that even the sale signs, nothing was in English at all. There wasn't a mention of English. Even the toys were all French. Even though there was English on the package, like the toys, like if they sang songs, counted numbers, it was all in French. So we went around, we got the stuff we needed to go, we went to the cash. I asked the cashier if I could speak to a manager, just to let them know how I felt about them not having any English. So he came over. I politely told him that there's no English at all in the store whatsoever. And he just said, well, this is Quebec. So I told him, well, the law states that you are allowed some English as long as it's not as big as the French. And he goes, well, no, this is Quebec, you're not allowed. So I again said, well, I know the law. I'm not a lawyer, but I know my rights. And I said, you're allowed to put some English. He said, well, he said it's not his decision, and that he'll pass it on to the management, and I could contact their corporate office if I wanted to. I called their hotline right away, and I expressed my disappointment in the fact that they've totally left out a whole big segment of Quebec's population with their language situation in the store. I have not received any answer. I did speak to a customer service representative, and she said she would pass it on. It was based out of Atlanta, so I'm not really sure how it's going to be passed on here. But no, I have not received any response from Canadian head office or the American one. I don't think forcing French language on its citizens will work very well. For instance, for me, growing up, it was very traumatic. It was very hard times for English-speaking Quebecers. Went through the referendum in 1995, and I was young. and I really felt oppressed, so I really did not pay attention at all in French class. In fact, there was a part of me that sort of loathed French people because of it. I felt oppressed. I felt like, they didn't like me, so why should I like them? So I didn't really pay attention, and I sort of suffered for it. I do regret not paying more attention to French class and, doing my French work so I could improve my French. I think forcing the French language the way they are right now is going to really affect the economy. I can't really picture what's going to happen in the future, but I know growing up I noticed a lot of companies just picking up and moving out, just not to put up with the government's bullshit. I know right now there's a lot of companies that are fighting back, but you know what, we shouldn't have to fight for our right to speak the language that that we want. I think that Montreal is going to be very adversely affected. I don't necessarily know about the company I work for, but other companies with English names that are going to have to be forced to change to French, or even all the signs forced to French. They're going to be losing customers are not going to be able to go to the store because they're not going to be understanding the signs. They're going to be going elsewhere. People will be picking up and moving to Ontario across the border just to get away from all this. So there's going to be less employment, there'll be less diversity. They're just basically forcing people out. They're creating an atmosphere that's not very welcoming. My message to Pauline Marois I would ask her if she could go live somewhere in the States, a small town place in the States where they speak nothing but English. Just see how she feels. I know she can speak some English, but I just would like her to experience the discrimination and the prejudice that I face and my family and my friends face every day. It's not fair. I'm pretty sure she would learn her lesson quick. I mean, I understand how she wants to preserve the French language and the culture in Quebec. The way she's doing it is not only unfair, but it's borderline fascist, and it's not fair to the people who want to make a living and just enjoy their life. It just makes every day that much harder when life is hard enough as it is. My message to everyone else is that Montreal is a great city. I love Montreal, I love Quebec. I wouldn't move anywhere else. It's unfortunate that there's such an atmosphere here that I have to put up with prejudice and being disrespected because of my language almost every day. But hopefully that will change. I know if it will change, Montreal and Quebec will be a better place for it. I'd like to thank Mohamed Amin for helping me voice my story and get it out to the public. And I'm not insane, I'm just a limited edition.